patient now. We can't comment on anything.
So,
as many smart contracts as you want, and you can
Super happy Dragon Lucky!
Sure. So one of the things many blockchain games are going to need is some sort of cloud wallet solution. We'd really like to wrap that into a service on top of Dragonchain. We'd also like to wrap things like matchmaking, things like scarcity on the blockchain as well for things like tokenized items. Of course, Dragonchain uses their own smart contracts, so we'd provide a standard API for creating those specifically for games. Things like conventional metadata and tokens and stuff like that.
So one of the cool things is to explore ways in which to solve some of the problems that we all might encounter with blockchains, whether it's transaction viscosity or other things like high fees. So these are all great opportunities for games. Games have typically led the way for new innovations. And I think in this case it will be no different. So
what are you most excited about for Dragonchain?
For Dragonchain, I think the opportunities to get out and do things. We've got so many customers that are coming to us and want to kick the tires. Now is the time to be able to show them how they can take their existing resources and do some really basic things. No one is going all in and saying, hey, we're going to transform the enterprise. But what they are doing is finding very specific use cases that we can run Dragonchain and do things like digital identity, privacy, supply chain, as I mentioned, finance operations that take advantage of things that they need to do and that aren't being done really well today. Even things like property and title transfer. Governments are huge on blockchain, so I see that as a big opportunity for the business.
So let me ask, what do you think the biggest opportunities are for innovation in the tech space right now? I mean, we're in the Amazon offices. This is like a hub of innovation. What do you see as the next big targets for the tech industry to tackle?
One of the really kind of fun and fascinating things about EKS once we launched it, and I'll have to say it was a little bit of a surprise, but a very pleasant surprise, is how fast we saw machine learning workloads start running on EKS.
Interesting.
So we have a lot of customers running machine learning workloads using Kubeflow and TensorFlow and PyTorch and other kinds of systems. One of the great things about AWS is we have these an amazing, really wide selection of instances, and our GPU instances are really good. And
nice.
We have really, really big GPU instances. And we have systems like FSX and other components that help you kind of assemble a cluster with not just the Kubernetes piece, but the GPU instances, the networking, the high throughput networking, the high performance file systems. And so if you're inclined to assemble cluster computing around machine learning, then we have some awesome solutions. And it's been really amazing to see the kinds of projects that people are doing in that space. So, machine learning is definitely a big thing for us.
Can a user withdraw their dragons, the rewards they get from running a node on DragonNet, from the console?
Yeah, so they would just have to go into the console and click the withdraw button, and they would be able to withdraw the rewards from their verification payout address, which is where those rewards would be sent upon verification. And they can also pay or withdraw from their funding address, which is where their credits go when they send dragons into the system. So they will be able to withdraw from both of those addresses.
Right.
We're proud that we're a 100% employee-owned company in Bellevue, Seattle, and want to thank Seattle Business Magazine for considering us, WTIA for helping us get involved with everything. And the Stadia Blockchain Council, really good people. The members of the Blockchain Seattle Meetup Group, and most importantly, the 30 families that make up Dragonchain, and the 35,000 members of our community. Thank you.
The effects were the financial disaster that we are living our way through right now.
We are in the most serious financial crisis in generations.
We're building new technology to help the world, and we're being treated like criminals. I knew it was going to be big. I didn't realize how massive it was going to be.
They better pay a little closer attention to the law, or the SEC is going to pay closer attention to them.
Yeah. Our partners received subpoenas today from the SEC when I'm trying to build technology that will make America more prosperous for everyone. This is America, and we will fight for our freedom to defend what we've built. The rest of the world is going to leave America behind if we push this technology out. It's all at stake right now. All right, I'm Joe from Dragonchain, and I'm here with JD Serafin, founder of Coin and Vision Tree, and give us a little intro.
Yeah, so I'm a producer, entrepreneur based in Los Angeles, California. Started out my career on the film side, working on some independent movies, and helped to put financing together for Broadway play and some other projects. About 7 years ago, I did a documentary called Serious, which was like one of the big viral documentaries of 2012, 2013. Crowdfunded the entire budget, and then we did some exciting things with distribution on that. And so that kind of actually laid the foundation for my interest in community-driven efforts behind financing and marketing and just new ways of thinking about those things. So yeah, no, I'm excited to be here and discussing all this.
And you launched Coin last year, right?
Yeah, so we started to conceptualize Coin about 2 years ago. So basically, after Serious, our company, along with some partners, acquired from Paramount the rights to the Atari movie. So it's the story of Nolan Bushnell, who is the founder of Atari and one of the godfathers of not just the video game industry, but really the whole digital technology revolution. And it's a pretty large budget biopic, studio level movie that we're producing with Leonardo DiCaprio and his production company, Appian Way. So we were looking at what was the organic DNA of that project and what is the best way that we could not only finance it, but we could do what we did with Serious. So Serious, the documentary, we were able to do this community-driven marketing effort when we released the film, and we had a lot of success with an online distribution that we did ourselves. So we looked at, what systems could we use or what technology could we use, and it was right around the time of the ICO boom that we started looking at blockchain. And so then I went down the rabbit hole, became passionate about the technology's potential to help solve a whole bunch of global issues, and then looking at how do we apply it to media, not just for the Atari movie, which is what helped us it's what inspired us to create Coin, and we also started to look at how could we produce some other media that could help bring awareness or bring more information to the world about what is crypto, what is blockchain, who are some of the real companies that are building in the space, and that's where you and I got connected and was fortunate enough to meet you and start down the path of what we're working on. So
right, and it was early 2018 because you came up to the office and we met right away. I was kind of surprised how fast you came up here to talk to us about how we could collaborate on various things. And I don't know if I pitched to you, but I asked you, your advice on how we could build content and build a structured way around describing and messaging what we do and why we do it. And a lot of the things meshed really well with what you were already looking at. And so back then we started to talk about creating this, what would you call it? I mean, it's
well, I think creating what we're working on, or what we've just announced, is a documentary series that Joe and I and Vision Tree and Dragonchain have been working on. We've been filming and really actually incubating it for quite a while. The idea is to bring to the world not just the story of Dragonchain, which, as far as I see it, they're one of the more credible, solid players that are building real technology in the blockchain space, and that not just the origin in Disney, which is a lot of people know about, but more importantly, some of the highly complex technical capabilities that Dragonchain has already developed that's far beyond a lot of the other companies in the space. So, but what we wanted to focus on, and what we are focusing on with the show, is that we see that we're at this critical point as a species. And there's been this age-old battle for hundreds or thousands of years between two philosophies. One is liberalism, and the other is authoritarianism. And so these are two different ideas. One is that we as humans should be free to make decisions and to govern ourselves, which blockchain empowers in a whole new way with new models of governance and using technology to really power that, right? And you have authoritarianism, which is this other idea that humans can't be trusted to govern ourselves, so there needs to be some power, some powerful centralized, government or other body that's sitting in that role. And so I see us, and just my research and talking to you, working with you and other companies, is like at this critical moment where blockchain, cryptocurrency, and this technology is actually going to have a central place in this battle between those ideas of liberalism and authoritarianism. So we've been developing a documentary series that we just announced that's going to be coming out early next year on broadcast networks. A broadcast network in the U.S., but also internationally. Is going to have distribution. It'll be online as well. And the overarching premise is we want to show, essentially the central place that blockchain and cryptocurrency has to play in that battle between those two, philosophies, and also really show the evolution of the cryptocurrency industry in the United States, and show that through the lens of your story and of the story of Dragonchain. And so that's essentially what's coming with a documentary series that we've been developing. And then on top of it, we wanted to take it another layer even further to say, well, if we believe in what we're saying and we're going to eat our own dog food, which is the old adage, let's tokenize a small piece of the series, which we're doing via the Coin platform, that we'll be rolling that out in the coming months with Joe and the team, so that the Dragonchain community and other fans that want to participate in helping us to market the series and also to own a small piece of it, that's what we're rolling out, is also the tokenization of the series. So it's basically a documentary series about the evolution of cryptocurrency in the US and the story of Dragonchain. So that's something we're really excited to get out there to the world, and that's what we're here. That's what we're here to talk about.
It's gonna be amazing, right?
Yeah.
Anything else? We know the date, beginning of the year. We know coin interactions. I'm trying to think. We will have a couple of teasers coming out, so you can at least see some of the direction, right? I don't know how much we'll expose otherwise before, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, exactly. There's one teaser that we already released today, and there's also going to be a series of other teasers leading up to the actual launch of the trailer. So we'll definitely be getting that out to the community to share and to check out. And then as I would just say, the goal is to empower the community to participate, not only in helping us to get the word out about the series, but again, like to have the opportunity to own a small piece of this series, which is in the DNA of, what you guys are doing with Dragonchain. So it's a perfect fit.
Yes, right on. Well,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, man. It's great to be working on this. And honestly, I think that the work you guys have been doing quietly, it's people don't understand how challenging it is to be an entrepreneur in the US working in the cryptocurrency space. There's so many challenges, and so for us to be able to shine a light on that and give people a window into what is it really like for someone like you, a founder on the front lines, that's a unique opportunity, and so we're grateful for that opportunity and to bring that story to you guys. So,
right on. All right. Thanks so much.
Yes.
All right, that was episode C, and you got to see a little bit about the DocuSeries. We should have more info coming out over the next couple of months, and I think some more teasers. We have open house tomorrow from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Seattle time. If anybody's in town, feel free to come by. You should RSVP, of course. We just had the Dragonchain Independence Day, which was 3 years since we were released from Disney on October 2, 2016. And today is the Cascadia Innovation Corridor event where Lawrence is going to be presenting on blockchain. A lot of really good info, mostly centered around Oregon, Washington, and Western Canada. Really cool stuff, a lot about supply chain and like-minded things that have a lot of interest in blockchain and using blockchain. And then we'll have some more info on monthly billing coming out soon. Mostly, questions on details about what is charged, what isn't charged, and what's coming. And all of these releases should be coming out pretty soon. The dev team's been really active testing and getting some things in place. So we want to make sure that it rolls out smooth for everyone. So if anyone has any questions, do ping us. We're putting together a good FAQ and trying to get everything in place for what's coming. So thanks a bunch. See you next week.